Greetings, my name is Williams. I'm a real estate developer, real estate investor here in New Jersey, and I wanted to create this course to help first-time home buyers. So if you are currently paying rent and you want to get out of that situation, I urge you to study this course, grab a pencil, grab a paper, or take notes in your phone, because the information that I give you is going to be really instrumental in helping you become a homeowner. First-time home buyers, the way that I look at the math, if you're currently paying $1,000 a month in rent, and just say you've been renting for 2 years, that's $24,000 that you've spent in rent over the last 2 years. So if you rented for 3 years, that's $36,000 that you've paid. If you rented for 4 years, that's $48,000 that you have paid in rent that you will not get back when it's time for you to leave that property. So to me, it makes sense. That same home that you're renting for $1,000 a month, you can own probably for less than $600 a month. So let's get started. The first step in becoming a homeowner is basically putting a team together. You want to get pre-approved for a mortgage, so you're going to need a mortgage company or a mortgage broker to help you get pre-approved. Normally, with FHA loans, you only have to put down 3%. So say if the property is $100,000, you would only have to put down $3,000 to purchase that home, and you can get help with closing costs. FHA is a federal housing program that helps first-time home buyers. Now, if you're single, like myself, I have twin daughters, and when they were coming out of college, I explained to them, when you move into your first home, because you're single, because you don't have children, it's best to buy a multifamily. So for them, it made sense for them to look at either a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex, which they can live in one apartment and rent out the other 3 or 2 apartments or the other 1 apartment. That way, the other rents will kind of pay for the mortgage itself, and you can kind of live basically mortgage-free while your other tenant is paying your mortgage. But if you do have a young family and you become a first-time home buyer, it's easier to go ahead and buy a single-family home. But that's the easiest way to get approved for first-time home buyers. So now that you've been pre-approved for a mortgage, the second person on your team you will need is a realtor. A realtor will help you find a home. You contact the realtor and you kind of tell them, this is what I've been pre-approved for. Your mortgage company and your realtor, your real estate agent will work hand in hand together. Your realtor is a licensed agent in your state or in your town that you're from that could pretty much look on the MLS, which is the multiple listing service, and help identify properties that are within I guess your category of what you're looking to purchase, whether it's a duplex, whether it's a single family home. Pretty much they can itemize a list and help you find a home. So that's why the realtor is an important part of your team. They will take you around to some of these properties, get you appointments so that you can view the properties, and then they'll go as far as helping you make an offer on that property. They are licensed agents, so they can operate in a fiduciary agreement with you to help represent your interest in purchasing a property. All right, so for the title company pretty much is a corporation or agency or a company that researches any liens that may be on the property from the past, any past owners that may have had mechanical liens on that property, whether it was with contractors or loan companies or second mortgages or even tax liens. Like, they break everything down and research everything out so that you don't inherit this property with, problems. So they'll make sure that you get a clear title when purchasing this property. You hear so many horror stories when people try to buy properties without a title company, and they end up owing so many other companies or lien holders that can then foreclose on that property. And even if you paid, $100,000 for it, if that person had a lien on there for $10,000 and they foreclose on it, and you don't pay them that $10,000, they can literally get your property because the tax liens supersede every other lien that's out there, even mortgages. We'll get into purchasing tax liens in another course, but it's very important that you have a title company. Very, very important. A lawyer, yes. This is another person that's very important as a part of your team. Your lawyer can negotiate contracts for you. Your lawyer can help put a plan together to make sure that, if you want help with closing costs, they can help negotiate that for you. Your lawyer is the person that does your contract, look over your contracts, make sure that there's no discrepancies in there that could hurt you later on. So definitely try to find you a good real estate attorney. So many different attorneys out here, but you want one that specializes in real estate. Another person that's important to your team, your mortgage company can help with this because they're literally going to be contracted by your mortgage company, which is an appraiser. So say if there's a property that you're interested in, your mortgage company will then hire an appraiser. If they don't have any that work directly for the mortgage company, then they'll hire a contracted appraiser. And the appraiser will come out and do an evaluation on your home, do an evaluation on your land, do an evaluation on any permanent fixtures that's on the property, and then give you a value to tell you what the property is worth. I like buying properties that leave equity. So I don't like buying properties that have you're at the top of your market value. One, because if the value in the current market changes for any reason, and it does quite often, you could be upside down in the mortgage. So we had a crazy crash in the mortgage industry in 2008, where properties that were worth $130,000 when the market crashed, those same properties were only worth $40-something thousand. So you definitely want to get you a good mortgage company that can hire the right appraisers so that you'll know the value of your home and make sure that you're buying it for a good price with leaving you some equity in the property as well. And what that means is, say if you buy it for $100,000, the appraiser may come back and say the house is worth $140,000. That means you have 40% equity left on top of the property, which is excellent, right? So definitely make sure that you get a good mortgage company that can hire you a good appraiser. So as far as a private home inspector, this is someone that you as the buyer would hire to kind of walk through the home with a fine-tooth comb and kind of go through just each and every little nook and cranny to see if there's any problems with the home that's unforeseeable. When I purchase abandoned properties, of course, I buy those properties as is, so I wouldn't use a private home inspector. Me being a general contractor owning a construction company, I know what I'm buying, and most of the time it's as is. So for first-time home buyers, you want to know if it has asbestos in the house, because that's, could be damaging. You want to know if it's mold in the house. You want to know if it's termite damage. You want to know if there's an issue with the plumbing or sewer line, or if there's a leak in the roof. And most of the time, if there's a foundation problem, these guys will find it. They kind of look at any and everything from your chimney on down to your foundation and everything in between. And they're very important for first-time home buyers, especially if you don't want any surprises later on. There's a lot of horror stories out there with people purchasing properties and they had termite damage and they never knew it because the FHA appraiser didn't catch it or their contractor didn't catch it. But these private home inspectors, they go a step beyond what these appraisers and so forth. They go a step beyond what they do because that's what they get paid for. And sometimes they can hurt the deal, you know what I mean? Or they can make the deal work in your favor because there's something else for you to negotiate when it comes down to closing costs. You can get kickback for fixing termite damage, or you can get kickbacks for fixing the roof. So if you pay $100,000 for the property and you're putting down 3%, you can ask for, say, $10,000 to help make some of those repairs that were found by the private home inspector. Also, they have what you call a 203K, and this gives you money back as well to make up some of the repairs in the property. I think you can do up to $30,000 with the basic 203K, and if it's anything over that, then you have to get a general contractor and estimates and so forth, and they'll turn that into a 203K, which is also a construction loan because it's above the $30,000 benchmark. All right, so private home inspectors are very important. We want to talk to you about getting approved for an FHA loan. I would recommend you confirm this information with your mortgage company to see what their minimum requirement is for a credit score. In some instances, I've seen as low as 580 in the past with verifiable income, meaning pay stubs, a 2-year tax return, and a checking account as far as your minimum requirements. And they do want to see that you have at least the down payment, which would be the 3% in your account. As far as the closing costs, like I said in the previous video, you can get help with closing costs from the sellers. You can get donation letters from family members and so forth, and you also have access to the 203K loan. But the minimum requirements, but double check with your mortgage company. For FHA, the minimum requirements in the past was 580 credit score, verifiable income, meaning the tax returns, your pay stubs, and your checking account. All right? So don't be afraid to purchase a home because you were unsure of some of these requirements. Some people, think you got to have a whole lot of money to buy a home, and you really don't. I've seen people that work at McDonald's with a $20,000 a year income buy their first home at 18, 19 years old. So it's possible, and I encourage you to look further into it, okay? This part is really about educating yourself. So all the information that we are sharing with you, do your due diligence. Check into it yourself. Check with your realtor. Sometimes you might have a realtor in your family that can educate you. You might have one that could be a neighbor, it could be a family friend. If you have any people in your family that own properties, you can check with them and ask them who helped you buy your home. It could be a member of your church or another parent from your children's school. So it's about networking, asking questions, reading, of course, books, of course, this course, YouTube videos. I love YouTube College, so you can enroll there for free and educate yourself. So with so many different ways that you can get this information, and it won't cost you a dime. Just take a few minutes on your lunch break or on the weekend or in the evening, and start educating yourself. Do your due diligence. When purchasing your first home, one of the things that I hear a lot of people talking about is buying their dream home. And if you look at buying your first home as buying your dream home, you're never gonna make that move. We use this as our foundation to get out of paying rent. If you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on rent and you're not picky, you have to go into buying your first home with that same mindset. Now, the beautiful thing about FHA loans, if you are single, you could be dating, but if you're not married, technically you're still single, you can do an FHA loan, just you. Your partner can do an FHA loan as well. So that's 2 FHA loans within the same relationship. And how I educate my children is I tell them, okay, you buy a duplex or a triplex or a quad, and your boyfriend or your girlfriend buy a duplex, triplex, or a quad. Now, neither one of you are paying rent. Both of you are receiving income. You're living in your apartment, and someone else, as far as your tenants, are paying for that mortgage on that property. So it makes more sense to utilize the FHA guidelines and use it, to benefit you. So now that's 2 in one couple or one situation or one relationship. There's a third one. When you guys do get married, you can use the FHA loan together again. So now that's 3 times that you can access this FHA loan as individuals, and then when you come together as a couple, both of your names will go on there as first-time home buyers together, because it's a separate entity from you being single, your partner being single, and then you coming together in a relationship. All right, so let's think about a 5-year plan. Most people plan and do month to month, but no one thinks about a vision, really a 1-year vision, or a 2-year vision, or a 3-year vision. Like, where do you see yourself in 1 year? Where do you see yourself in 2 years? Where do you see yourself in 3 years? So what I like to do is I come up with vision boards and plans for every aspect of my life. Every business that I own, from my daycare businesses to my construction company to my nonprofit, they're all separate entities, and they all have separate visions that we have to complete with these different businesses. Even my construction company, even me buying and investing in real estate, whether it's commercial or residential, there's a plan that's put in place, and we have to follow that blueprint. So why not do the same thing with your health? Why not do the same thing with your purchase of a property? Come up with a 5-year plan. Like I said, this is not going to be your dream home in the very beginning. This is going to be a plan for you to get out of paying rent and then moving towards buying your forever home, right? So while you're in your duplex or triplex or a quad, and this isn't your dream home, you're thinking about what you want your dream home to look like. I like to write out a plan. I like to say, okay, if I can save $400 or $500 every month that I would have been paying in rent, now that I'm paying a mortgage, I'm saving that $400 or $500. Now I'm putting up $400 or $500 a month. Within that 1 year, I should have at least $4,800 to $6,000 or $5,000 saved up, to where I can take that money over 2 years, which will turn it into 10, or over 3 years, which will turn it into 15, or 4 years, so on and so on. If I can take that $20,000 and put it down as a down payment for my dream home, that's going to knock $20,000, $30,000 off that mortgage, or off that purchase price of my dream home, which will still give me a lower payment on my dream home that I don't have to come out of pocket with, because I've knocked a big part of that purchase price down by putting down a bigger down payment. Now, of course, you can do conventional loans, which is 5% down of your dream home. But as you're building your foundation to get to that point of saving money and planning for your dream home, it's very important that you come up with a plan and say, I'm only going to stay in this smaller home for 3 years. I can give you one scenario with myself. to get out of paying rent, I bought a property for $40,000. It was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home, but it had room for improvement. It had a basement that wasn't finished. It had an attic that wasn't finished. And there was room on the first floor to add another bathroom. So what I did to improve that home, to make the value of it a little bit higher, I finished the basement, I finished the attic, and I added another bathroom on the first floor and enlarged the kitchen. So now this same home that I only paid $40,000 for became worth $120,000. So I put it back on the market within 8 months, and I sold it for $120,000. And I ended up getting a check. It was a little bit more than $120,000, but I ended up getting a check for $80,000. And that was my profit from my first time home buyer situation, with buying a home that was able to, that I was able to improve and raise the equity value of that home by making those improvements. So with so many different plans that you can come up with when purchasing, your first time home buyer purchase, right? So be creative, talk to your team. Don't be afraid to build your team. Don't be afraid to, talk to general contractors and so forth, especially if you're going to do a 203K loan, because they'll be very instrumental in helping you put that property together and putting that plan together so that, you can make improvements, and later on when you sell that property, or keep it and pull some of the equity out, because you're able to do that as well. But you'll be knowledgeable going into those areas, all right? So now that you are at the end of this course, I hope this information has been helpful. I hope that you will apply. A lot of times people say knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is power. Knowledge alone, without putting it to use, is pretty much just useless. But applied knowledge is power. To help you navigate through some of your investments and buying your first home, as I mentioned in my intro, that I was a real estate investor, real estate developer, entrepreneur, and I'm also an author of several books. One of the books that will kind of give you more detailed information about who I am and some of my investment strategies and how I became who I am today. This is one of the first books that I wrote. It's called Everybody is a Real Estate Investor, Yes, Even You, by Andre Williams. It's available in 3 different formats: audiobook, paperback, and ebook. You can purchase this on our website, IamAndreWilliams.com, or you can purchase it on Amazon and Audible. So make sure you grab yourself a copy of Everybody is a Real Estate Investor, Yes, Even You. All right? The other book that I wrote is Tax Lien Investments Made Plain and Simple. I spoke about this earlier when we were talking about the title company finding any liens that may be on the property, and make sure that it's transferred to you without any of these encumbrances. So this book, Tax Lien Investments Made Plain and Simple, is also available in 3 formats. If you don't like to read paperbacks, you can purchase the Audible book on Audible, or you can get the ebook and read it from your phone, or you can order the paperback book. And this teaches you about buying tax liens. I use this strategy, and I've been using it for a couple decades now, and I love it. I get properties for pennies on the dollar. If it's not the property, then you will earn 18% interest on your money when you buy the tax lien. I always want the property, but I don't mind getting a check in the mail either. But I really want the property. So if you see my name come up on your tax lien, just let me get that property. Keep your money, all right? But no, seriously, this book is instrumental to investors. I don't do a lot of auctions because it's a lot of novices that show up at auctions, and they raise the property cost on these properties so high that as a real investor, it's a waste of time for me to compete against someone that don't know how much it's going to cost to rehab that property. And so in a lot of urban areas, you'll find that they have a high accumulation of abandoned properties, and that's because when they have auctions, you have these fake buyers that come in and they raise the auction price so high, but when they actually go see what they want and see how much work is needed on these abandoned properties, they end up bringing the properties right back to the city, and now the city has to go through their books again and try to figure out another way to get these properties back on the tax books. All right, so I have a plan and I have a solution for that. So if you are on a city council somewhere in some urban area, in some municipality around the country, we can help get your properties back on the tax books. We do have a nonprofit organization where you guys can donate the properties to our nonprofit. We fix it up with our own money, and we get the properties back on the tax books for you with our own resources. Right, so we can help you guys as well. But buying tax liens is key if you want to get properties for pennies on the dollar. All right, so check this out on Amazon, and you can also check this book out on Audible and on the website, IamAndreWilliams.com. All right, so there you have it. I appreciate you guys for purchasing this course. If you received it for free, definitely act like you paid for it. Use the value that you have, because when I say it's millions and millions of dollars worth of information in these courses and in these strategies, but if we don't use them and if we don't apply them to our families, we can't leave a legacy, right? And we want to get on the other side of the table to where you're able to leave someone an inheritance, you're able to leave someone property, real stuff, you know what I mean? Not just a bill or not just, words, but you want to leave somebody something tangible that's going to help that next generation move to the next level in life. That's one of the reasons why Black and Latino people haven't been able to advance because we don't have enough conversations about insurance policies and wills and trust funds, and we don't have that conversation enough. It's like we have to educate ourselves in these areas so that we can change things for the next generation. A lot of these other cultures, they leave insurance policies, so that's why their families are able to advance so much further than ours. And we do have the wealth in our communities and in our culture. We just have to know how to transfer it from this point to the next phase in life for our children and our children's children. Okay, so there you have it. Again, I am Andre Williams, and I appreciate your time. Hope that you've enjoyed this course. And speaking engagement wise, I do small classes. I do big classes. I do speaking engagements. I do Zoom conferences. You can get in touch with us through the website as well, IamAndreWilliams.com. And someone will surely get back to you. Appreciate your time. God bless you.
It's another project we're working on. Call this the mini mansion. About to hook up real quick. Beautiful big property. Gonna do the outside. Concrete work. Of course, woodwork. Stucco. All that good stuff. Bring it back to life. Take you on the inside real quick. We started gutting it already. It's my guys. Nice big yard. I love this neighborhood. I actually grew up right around the corner with my dad. So this is when we started gutting it. Get it down to the studs so we can get that new wiring. Get that plumbing right. This is going to be a huge kitchen. I know you can't see it now, but it's going to be beautiful with a nice island. open floor plan a little bit. It's gonna be like your living room, dining room area. Over here, we're gonna have a bathroom here. The plumbing already. This is gonna be like a little bedroom for the family member that gotta stay on the first floor. Let's go upstairs real quick. Take a little lookity look. Putting a whole new staircase in this joint. Safety first, you know what I mean? One new heating. Get rid of these little funny colors. It's probably cute at the time. It's gonna be another full bathroom, the main full. Here's gonna be master bedroom, bathroom, walk-in closet, all that good stuff. Yep, we coming for them. We are coming. Another bathroom. So we closed off here. Stand up shower, his and hers sink. All that good stuff. Got one more floor we're gonna visit. Real quickity quick. Like these old houses. These joints end up with like 5 or 6 bedrooms in them, 3 bathrooms. Got a little room off to the side there. Maybe storage or playroom, little closet area. Little office maybe. Kids might come up here and play games. Have their little computers or whatever. Teenager room, ain't no telling. But here you go. This is what we do. Resurrecting families, homes, and dreams. What's up, good peoples? Back again with the after video of the mini mansion. Take you guys on a little tour. Finished up the landscaping not too long ago. Gonna go around back though. Got a part in the trash. But this is one of our investment properties. And trash. I'm taking you this way because we put a pergola back here in my before video. This wasn't here. Neither was the deck. I'm very proud of that. So let's take a walk on the inside, see how it turned out. You're gonna see some of my team in here. So we ended up with 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. This is the bathroom on the first floor. Ended up doing a stand-up shower in here, just in case they have an older family member. It's real sexy right there. Older family member on the first floor. This would be their bedroom. Got their own closet, own bathroom. That way they don't have to walk up the stairs to use the bathroom. This would be the foyer. We're still doing some minor touch-ups, but you get an idea of what it looks like. This is the living room. / dining room. Came out real nice. We were able to save the hardwood floors. This is the kitchen. Pardon the people. The stainless steel package. Cabinets. Say what's up, peoples.
Hello.
What's going on? See the custom cabinet work.
It is amazing in here. You did an awesome job.
Thanks, family.
Awesome. The whole team.
Got a little wine. Let's take a look upstairs. Yeah, we're about 95% done. But I wanted you guys to see what was possible. And you have a vision and a blueprint. If you remember that last video, this room was crazy looking. So this would be like a guest room. They got their own bathroom, their own stand-up shower. Right? Looks good. And you have the master bedroom, which is right down this hall. This is the main bathroom. Then this would be the master bed and bath. So master bedroom. Yeah, master bathroom. I love that tub. His and her sinks and mirrors. Got a linen closet and a stand-up shower in their master bedroom. Still got to paint that ceiling. Yep, just doing some touch-ups, but I'm 95% done. Let's take a look upstairs. This is the 3rd floor. I love this view. Yeah. All right. Storage. And there you have it. Complete 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, plus attic. Put an office up here, you can put a library up here. Thanks for joining us. Peace.